Good afternoon, or it's still morning. Sorry, everyone. This is Brad Matheny again. I wanted to give you guys a quick little update. So, obviously, this is Bitcoin. We're seeing a fairly big breakdown. Sorry, I just got interrupted. So, we're looking at a pretty big breakdown in the market. Now, you can see here, I wanted to give you this update, try and give you an idea of what I'm looking for right now. So, let's start with the SPY. Let's start with the SPX 500. So I'm watching this for an increase in volume. We're starting to get an increase in volume here. We've had this big deep low. Let's come into maybe 10 minute and understand that we've had this big deep selling with extreme volume, and now we're rolling back up here into this top level. Now let me teach you a couple of things about Fibonacci, which I love if you follow me enough. Oop, don't want that. And come over here, and we'll just go up off of these highs down to these lows. And now you can see that we've exited the defense levels. So here's the defense levels on Fibonacci. We've exited this defense level here, and now we're moving up into this 50% retracement area, and we've stalled. We have seen a solid pullback in this move. We've seen a 50% pullback. We could continue to move a little higher, but I'm looking for, you can see how this volume is decreasing through this move. To me, that's an indication that this is a pullback, and I'm looking for volume to start to increase with a potential breakdown, potentially attempting to retest these lows. The market does not have to break these lows right now in order to continue to move downward. We just have to see this retracement stall and weaken, and then to see possibly greater volume into the close. So really, this is a pretty solid breakdown. We're starting to see the Dow Jones breakdown now as well. Was up pretty much flat earlier. So again, what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm being very cautious right now. My shorts and puts have played out perfectly. If you followed my research, come back over here and here daily. As I had been telling you, if you're following me, I had been setting up shorts over near these highs here, and then back up here near these highs, and then back up here near these highs. I added 4 shorts yesterday afternoon for the SPY. Those are doing very well right now. And then this morning on moderate weakness before the markets broke, I added 20 SPXS calls, which is a breakdown. So now you take a look at the SPXS, and you can see this morning we had a nice move down here, 33. And you can see we've had this big rally. If we get this move continues, we're going to be looking at potentially a move maybe up into this area. So we've got to just see how it continues. What I would be looking for is increased volume again. So let's come back over here to the SPY. And again, you see how we have this moderate breakdown in volume. To me, this is not very impressive. In other words, I'm not chasing this right now. I don't think this is a deep enough volume move to indicate broad market selling. It may come later. I may make some decisions at the end of the day saying I've got to get into a couple extra trades. But right now, I'm not seeing big volume. We come back over here to the NASDAQ. You're going to see big volume today because the news is related to Microsoft. And it's really kind of what I would call a .com bubble burst type of a trade. Let's call it a moderate .com bubble burst. But again, not seeing huge volume, really not seeing a big breakdown. It may come tomorrow. I think that a lot of traders are probably going to want to pull out, especially if this selling persists overnight into tomorrow. So we're going to see how that plays out. Um, and again, we come over here to the Dow Jones. Dow Jones has got weaker volume, not really seeing any big breakdown yet. The key for everything is this level. So understand, I'll go through the charts and show you. this low is going to be key to understanding if we get a breakdown or not, and we're not there yet. On the NASDAQ, that's this low here is going to be key to understanding if we get any type of breakdown. We're not there yet. On the SPY, this low is key to understand if we're going to get a big breakdown, and we're not there yet. And of course, over here on the SPY or the SPX 500, we're looking basically at this low, and we're not there yet. So right now, this move is nothing more than a reactionary pullback. It could continue. It looks interesting. I'm going to be watching the Dow Jones to see if the Dow Jones moves into deeper selling. And I will certainly be watching things overnight. Now, additionally, I want you to understand here that gold is moving into a pretty solid breakdown as well. Now, we're seeing very large volume. Let me try to get my volume up to the front here. And you can see this very large breakdown in volume. Okay. So you can see this huge volume move. Now, to me, this is a washout top in gold. This is exactly what I had been warning. I got out of my positions back over here. I left a runner, a single contract runner on, which is still making great money. It was up 200% at this point. It's was up over 300% plus here. Now we're looking at this big volume move. Okay. So now I had indicated that I thought gold could come down into this 46, 4,800 area before finding support. That gives us basically this area here, trying to find support in that area. At this point, I don't know that that's going to happen, but I do believe that this is a sufficient rollover in gold that we could see some follow through over the next couple of days, particularly if this blowout panic selling continues. Now, again, silver, I think we're looking more at, this 100, call it 98 to 100 area. And I think we could see silver kind of meander downward into early February. Understand that I'm talking about really this, well, let's just call it 5th through 10th area. So kind of this area in February. And the same thing here, kind of, well, I'm already highlighting it here pretty well. It's that 5th through 10th range that I think is potentially very important of February. So we could see a meltdown over next week and get some deeper lows. So I wouldn't be chasing this move in gold right now either. At least I am not chasing this move in gold. We're getting pretty solid breakdown. Again, take a look over here at, you look over here, where was it? The European markets or Japanese markets are down excessively. German markets are down excessively. This is a very solid breakdown, and they have broken or attempted to break these lows. So, again, this is an indication that markets are trying to establish a new low. If they break this low on a close today, it's going to be a very strong indication that price is going to continue to try to move lower. That's what Fibonacci price theory is all about. If you want to learn about Fibonacci price theory, you can look through any of my videos on TradingView. They're there for you. It teaches you that price is um, always moving in an attempt to find new highs or new lows. And it does so very cleanly, and you can see what's going on. This new low sets up the potential that we're looking at a new breakdown, but we do not have a closing price breakdown below recent lows, which would be here or here. We have a potential closing price low right now down here, but we don't have any confirmation of a closing price breakdown. Same thing probably over here in the UK. Nope, UK is different. And we don't have any big breakdown here. So we would be looking really for this low and this low. Again, no confirmation of a breakdown yet. In fact, very cleanly, you can see flagging. And remember, price generally either flags or trends. Now, this is the Japanese yen, so we've got the peak here. You can count this as A, B, C, D, E with rejection. Okay, maybe, or A, B, C, D breakdown. So I would hypothetically, given what I think is happening, be looking at this as a breakdown mode more than a breakaway mode, and we'll see how it plays out. So again, we're getting higher volume. That's good to see. We're not getting any real confirmation of a breakdown. I'm thinking this is going to follow my expectations and my predicted modeling and break downward, but I have no confirmation yet. So at this point, I'm looking for more increased volume and I'm looking for confirmation below this low, this low, and this low. This would give me a lot more confirmation that we've got a breakdown taking place. Until then, this looks like a moderate pullback. It could be short term news. Um, it's nice. My trades are moving into profits right now. I love it, but not enough for me to chase it yet. Same thing with gold. Not enough for me to chase it yet. I would rather honestly wait till Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, see what happens, make decisions then chase it into a crazy weekend, knowing that the U.S. government is probably going to move into a shutdown. So there's your quick little update, guys. Talk to you later.